The bottle stopped on me, and in one reckless moment, I kissed the man I'd been having an affair with, right in front of my husband.
The sound of the spinning bottle felt louder than the music, louder than the laughter, louder than my own heartbeat. It slowed, wobbling lazily before stopping with its neck pointed straight at me. It was like fate itself had chosen this exact moment to expose everything I'd been trying so desperately to hide. "Truth or dare, Eliza?" Ryan asked, a smirk playing on his lips. He always looked like that when he smelled chaos. 8 pairs of eyes turned to me. Some were amused, some were drunk. And one pair, Mateo's, was dark, intense, and burning with a private promise I never should have accepted. I should have picked truth. I should have run from the fire I'd been feeding for 2 reckless weeks. "Dare?" I said. Ryan leaned forward like a villain in a movie. "I dare you to make out with someone in this room who isn't your husband." "And I mean for real?" The group roared with excitement. Nathan, my husband, laughed awkwardly beside me, thinking it was just a harmless, stupid party game. He had no idea the man sitting directly across from him, quiet, confident, with eyes like aged whiskey, was the same one I had been sleeping with in my parents' house just days ago. My pulse hammered against my ribs. My skin prickled with a mix of fear and adrenaline, and then I stood up. The room fell silent. I could feel everyone lean forward. Someone whispered, "No way." I ignored them all. I crossed the circle, my eyes locked on Mateo's, the man who had cracked open a part of me I didn't even realize had been starved for so long. I straddled him, my hands landing on his shoulders, feeling the familiar strength beneath his shirt. I heard someone gasp. Maybe it was my friend Kim, maybe it was me, and then I kissed him. This wasn't a party kiss, it wasn't a joke. It was raw, real, and absolutely ruinous. His hands gripped my waist the same way they had when we were tangled in sheets, when I'd been whispering his name while my husband worked late into the night. When I finally pulled away, breathing hard, Mateo stared back at me with a look of smug triumph. I turned, and that's when I saw Nathan's face. It crumbled in slow motion, first shock, then confusion, then pure horror. Something died in his expression, and I knew instantly that whatever I had with Mateo was nothing compared to what I was about to lose. What the hell was that? Nathan asked, his voice suddenly ice cold. The room exploded. Shouting, frantic explanations, total chaos. But the real story didn't begin at that party. It began 2 weeks earlier, on our wedding anniversary. I was sitting at a dinner for 2, staring at an empty chair. Nathan had called to cancel, a work crisis. Emergency meetings. He said he'd have 2 weeks of late nights ahead. I tried to understand. He was a brilliant architect, respected and hardworking, and he loved me. I knew he did. But the loneliness was a monster that was eating me alive. My parents insisted I stay with them so I wouldn't be alone in our isolated lake house. I agreed, ashamed of how scared I was to sleep alone in the dark. That's where I met Mateo, my mother's new private chef. He wasn't supposed to be charming, or kind, or devastatingly attractive. He wasn't supposed to notice me, and I definitely wasn't supposed to feel noticed. But he saw me. We started cooking breakfast together. We talked for hours. We laughed in ways I hadn't laughed in months. Then one morning our hands touched, reaching for the same knife, and something snapped. I kissed him first. He kissed me back harder. After that, the affair unfolded like a firestorm, urgent, reckless, and addictive. The kitchen counter, the living room, the guest shower. Places I still can't think about without feeling sick with shame. I told myself it was temporary, a distraction, a mistake I would bury so deep no one would ever find it. Then Nathan texted he was coming home early. I pushed Mateo away, told him it meant nothing. He left furious and hurt, but I didn't care. I thought I still had a marriage to save, until the game night, until that kiss, until my entire life exploded. After the kiss, Mateo provocatively claimed that I had been the one begging him for affection. That's when Nathan snapped. He lunged across the room, fists flying, and needed only one clean hit to send Mateo crashing to the floor. Friends were shouting, trying to break them apart. I couldn't breathe. But it was Nathan's face, bleeding, shaking, completely destroyed, that burned into my memory forever. He didn't speak a single word to me on the entire drive home. When we got inside, he pulled out the large suitcase we'd bought for our honeymoon. Not an overnight bag, the big one. The one that meant he wasn't coming back. Please, I begged. We can fix this. He just let out a hollow laugh. Fix? You didn't burn dinner, Eliza. You burned us. He packed without even looking at me. His eyes were so cold I barely recognized him. I tried to stop him at the front door, but he stepped back as if my touch was poison. This isn't a break, he said. This is goodbye. He left me that night. Hours later, Matteo texted, "You'll need someone. I'm here." I threw my phone against the fireplace until it shattered into a million pieces. Days passed in a blur of guilt and panic. Then Nathan's lawyer contacted me. He wanted a divorce. He had already flown to London. He wanted no contact, no conversations, no explanations. He gave me the house, the money, everything. The message was clear. He would rather lose everything than ever have to look at me again. The divorce was finalized within months, without him ever stepping foot back in the country. My flower shop lost business. My reputation crumbled. I sold our home at a loss and moved into a tiny apartment, working in a greenhouse assembling grocery store bouquets. Then 1 year later, the final blow landed. A photo appeared on social media, Nathan in Barcelona, smiling in a way I had once known so well. Beside him stood a stunning woman with a ring on her finger. The caption, "Congrats to the newly engaged couple." He had rebuilt his life. I hadn't, all because of 10 days of selfishness, one affair I thought I could hide, one kiss I never should have given, and one night of truth or dare that ripped my entire life open for the world to see. Some mistakes ruin your life slowly. Mine ruined it all at once.